Zeus this time around. Let's see what we do go to. So much more focus towards bot side this time around, with the Varus also being right back up there. Interesting that the Zyra as well remains banned, you know, so yeah, no changes there from HLE.
Yeah, it's very LCK to just always ban Skarner Kalista. Even with the Skarner nerfs, they're like, nope, we still got to ban this, and then you got that one extra ban and they just throw it at JunJia and his Zyra, which I think is a good call. The first pick, Corki here for the side of CFO. It's only game 2 here in Fearless Draft, so there's still a lot of top-level selections available for both sides. So the Corki wasn't really on my radar for the first pick, but it does kind of go with anything as a pick, so at least they've got that. It is a bit of a flex as well, as we are going to see the MF picked up here for Viper, as that has been sticking around for a very long time, this MF pick.
Yeah, and you mentioned, yeah, the Corki is very much a flex for them. You know, they've got 3 for Doggo and 2 plays for HongQ, so starting out flexible. Bot lane, ooh, we get Peanut Nidalee again. All right, this is going to be a fun one. Then you're kind of like, okay, well, then they have to get like Leona Nautilus support or something like that. They're for sure going to get Delight on. Actually, I mean, whatever engage he wants to play, you know, he could take his pick. I assume Zeus might be bringing some. There's the Gragas that we mentioned for Driver. He's a really big Gragas player, so they put him in and get him on some comfort. See what else. Okay, nice Leona steal away. Here, because that is one of the ones we were listing here for HLE that they would want to go for, because both Misfortune and Nidalee want a support with Mega CC, so I have to already be thinking like Nautilus or something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess Braum is still available, but then you don't have great, like, you know, playing offensively. It's only like defensively into Leona, and so you don't want to do that. So yeah, you go for the Rell here to get that big engage for the Misfortune ultimate. We'll see about those pairings.
Yeah, the Rell MF, definitely a classic one. You know, a lot of AoE, you can just MF ult over the top. It doesn't really matter who you hit as the Rell, but you're going to hit a lot, and hopefully the MF does the damage with the follow-up. We'll see what these solo laners look like for the side of Hanwha Life eSports, because they already know at least they're going into the Gragas. The Gragas could also potentially be flexed into the jungle, but got a decent idea, especially as you were mentioning, Driver has played this quite a lot. Yeah. The Gragas, it is in his pool. They're going to go ahead and ban away JunJia's Sejuani to start off with, so definitely expecting that in the top lane.
Yeah. It's always hard, too, when you're facing an early Nidalee pick, because, you know, JunJia wants to play, like, high economy usually. So we'll see what how much they do whittle down this jungle champion pool. Pretty interesting as well, taking away the Ambessa from Zeus. I don't want to play the Gragas into that one. Speaking of high economy, the Taliyah off the board here. One of the champs that can keep up that power farm, even against Nidalee.
I mean, if you're going to play into CFO, if you're going to play into JunJia, just ban 4 junglers, right? That's always a good call. Kalista's OP, so you ban that one as well. Just ban them out as much as you possibly can, and you're going to be feeling pretty good about your process in the draft regardless. The final ban here is Zeka's Akali. So they don't want that to happen. They already experienced his Yone. Does he just pick Sylas here? He's like, well, you can't ban Sylas, so I can pick that instead.
Yeah, we'll see what he's feeling. I mean, assuming they'll save his pick for last year, maybe go Zeus, since they assume. Oh,
what?
Vladimir, nice!
Wait,
nice!
Really?
Yeah, and I'm assuming that this one is going into the Gragas. It like allows Vladimir to get really big without a lot of problems, and like that's just devastating. You're just gonna have such a big AoE AP threat into this team. This is gonna be a fun one.
It is AP, as you mentioned, so we have to almost definitely have a AD pick for the mid lane, assuming this Vlad is going top, which I think at this point, you know, 90% chance of that happening. You can just pool the cask if you're ever in any danger, and as you mentioned, your range, you just get kind of a free lane into this Gragas. Unless, you know, a gank comes up there very early. We are going to have the Taliyah coming out here for the side of HongQ. So that Corki is, at this point, what it looks like in this draft, should be going into the bottom lane. But let's see how they round it out as the Kindred is going to be the final pick here for JunJia.
Yeah, they want JunJia carry. Here we go. We got the Kindred lined up for them since they have double AP solo lanes. Let's see what they can do. Honestly, Zeka, now what you got for us?
Oh, really?
Yeah! Yes!
Oh my God! It's happening, Zed!
Yes! What in the... Yo, stats team, give me... I need a stats team update on the last pick on Zed here immediately.
Zed? Well, you know, he doesn't dash. That seems pretty good into Taliyah, right? He's got excellent execution pressure. Maybe not as good into Kindred, but you know what? It's Zed mid.
Well, it's actually still cool into Kindred because you can force the Kindred ult without putting yourself in danger because you just shadow back, and then you can finish off the Kindred. So, like, the Zed, especially as you said, because Zed has a good lane versus Taliyah here, so if the Zed gets fed, then it's just like the Kindred's always worried for its life for getting popped here. And I expect Zeka to pop off on it, but this is hype. This is honestly, after that first game, this is what we want.
We needed this. We needed to up the tempo somehow.
We get a Vladimir and a Zed pick.
Yeah.
Very nice.
We weren't going to take a step down from game one. We were only going to ratchet it up real quick. And I don't know what this really means, but without JunJia in this game.
It's JunJia's Garner.
Yeah, they will deny it once again, 2 games in a row.
Oh, man.
You know, this says go until the end, and you're going to definitely win if you are Hanwha Life eSports. And that is the way it has been. They go to game 5s, and they just win. And they win game 1s as well. They just win a lot, don't they?
So, the buffs that were given to Zed on 25 5 patch was base damage increase, a big old whopping 5.
Yeah, I mean,
for
that's,
the Shadow Slash, but also the AD ratio. The AD ratio is the big part.
There you go.
15% more AD ratio here, up to 80%. So the Shadow Slashes will hit harder.
They definitely will, and it's into a good comp as well. As Hanwha Life eSports fans are out in force, and you know what else got buffed recently is Electrocute.
Yes,
so
it did. You know, and he's actually going Conqueror.
He's not playing
it was
that?
a good bet though. When you said it, I was like, you know what? Let's see, you know, because that would really lend into the one pops.
Yeah.
But he is going the Conqueror here.
So
I'm actually just so hyped for this. And you know what's really fun as well? Assuming it looks good, in solo queue, then you get to track like the spike in Zed picks in solo queue after an international game like this.
It's just going to be Zed every single game. You're just going to have to ban it if you don't want it. I mean, it seems pretty good, right, on this patch. You were mentioning, you know, the E buffs that did come in. It's +5 damage at every rank, and it just feels like his laning should be stronger. His execution power should be stronger. He goes Conqueror here instead, expecting, you know, some of these fights to go longer, not necessarily going for the one-tap capability. He's still going to have it because he is Zed. We know what Zed can do as a champion. If you've ever played solo queue, you've seen this guy, even if you don't see it often in pro.
So hyped for this. Early on, of course, going to be a lot of farming for him. Till you get towards your level 6, and you can look for these all-ins on the Taliyah. Look for some kills, some explosive plays. I'm also very curious to see what Peanut does with Nidalee into Kindred matchup here. See if he does get off some of these the solo invades. I assume that he's going to have some nice lanes to work with.
Uh-oh. HongQ.
Wait a second, he's level 2.
Yeah, that's the Ignite coming on in. He doesn't have Electrocute, but HongQ has to flash at level 2. Already Zeka on the Zed pick is forcing summoners in his lane.
Yeah, Ignite for Flash. Best trade every day of the week. Plus, he's going to have the force him back, so it is going to look like an increase in solo queue Zed picks, I think, with the way that they start is going. All right, they both go for the recalls, though. HongQ actually, they both cancel them. Okay, so HongQ canceled his first. Then Zeka's like, all right, fine, I cancel mine too.
Yeah. That's the thing about laning into Zed, especially if you take a big chunk early, is you only start off with the one pot, right? So you don't have a lot of sustain as Taliyah, and
Zed's got the shield, so he does.
He's got the ability to power through this lane very easily, especially once he gets that first trade. So you want the good backs, but Zeka is denying him the good back at this point in time.
All right, so all our excitement for the mid lane matchup. Junglers are about to finish their routes though, so Scuttle Crabs, after the first Scuttle Crabs, maybe looking towards mid, or maybe even a little bit before, because with both of them canceling their recalls, does give a slight opportunity. Looks like we're actually having JunJia cross back up to the top side, which is kind of weird since Vlad is pushing in Gragas. So he doesn't have his top lane priority, and his mid lane's getting pushed in too, but he goes for the smite fight.
Yeah, that's going to go the way of Peanut here, and Peanut is not scared to go for the fight, especially with the Zep, but he's actually losing the fight here. He goes for the heal. He flashes away, but JunJia still going to get it. He does give the kill over to Zeka, though, who will pick up double buff, as now HongQ low on mana. Zeka, he's on the hunt, as he doesn't have much more than a shuriken, though. He's eating stones straight to the face. There you go, HongQ, with one final Q, gets the kill onto Zeka.
Well, there you go. That's why he went for the top Scuttle Crab. He goes for it. They get 2 kills. Big stuff here for CFO. I mean, Zeka answering might be a problem later. He does get the pickaxe back there for Zed, which is pretty decent, plus the refillable. But honestly, let's take a look at the next one. Peanut right back out. Since Mark did end up spawning on the bottom Scuttle Crab, ends up taking that one away for the next set. But here's another look at it. Joe goes straight for it, puts on the ward. They go for the smite fight. As you say, Peanut does hit it, but Peanut gonna lose out in the 1-for-1. Zeka, though, since he's the earlier mid on over, will flash and finish it. But we know the end of this story as well.
Yeah, I mean,
it starts with a lot of rocks, and then it ends with a big rock.
With a lot of, yeah. There you go.
Actually, that was just another one of the regular-sized rocks.
Just a very small ending rock that did come out there from that. And, yeah, I mean, I think Peanut just assumed that Zeka would make it over and they would win the 2v2, so he was just forcing the fight. You could see the 1v1 was not going to go the way of Peanut. Peanut must have known that that should be the case.
Pretty close though.
Yeah, it was. It was a big heal there towards the end, so there was a chance, but not quite enough. And take a look at the top lane here, where Zeus is actually ahead on gold at the moment. Not too surprising, as the Vlad, the range champion, just doing a good job sustaining and getting those last hits with his Q. HongQ, though, picking up the double buff. He's able to get a very nice back in, picks up his own refillable, so it's going to make this lane a lot easier against Zeka, who is now down a level.
Plus, probably going to be a lot of playing with teammates at this point. And since we do see Kaiwing heading over here, is one of the big parts about playing with this mid jungle, is having that support there to bring it all together. The Leona CC to set either of them up. Even Driver's making the trek over, so looks like it's going to be everybody except for Zeus walking over. Since Zeus is still shoving bottom, it looks like Driver actually is now going to walk all the way back down there too. So CFO at least gets 2 of them.
Yeah.
But once Driver shows, they're like, then HLE are going to know we don't have 5 people fully up here. So we got the extra one, and we will split grubs.
Yeah, just a split grub situation, 2 for 1. And Hanwha Life eSports will be thankful that that last one was left for them. You mentioned the situation where they didn't want to go for it. Level 6 Zed, though, still going to put on that pressure. The Ignite is coming in. Zeka, one last auto. Doesn't need it, as down will go HongQ. And that, right there, is the power of Zed.
Yeah, it's so hard in that matchup. Zed just gets to go right for it. As soon as he got his level 6 Ignite down there for Zeka. And that means they have mid lane prio once again. And so second Scuttle Crab mark also gets taken away. Peanut takes this one away, really trying to keep those Kindred marks down. He's going to be able to transition. They still have a little bit of deep wards as well through enemy jungle. We haven't gotten to focus too much on the Vladimir pick that they went for as well, but as we said, it was going to be Vladimir, scaling nicely with a nice little free lane for himself. And really the scary part is going to be later on after Zeus has farmed up and joins with the team. And then you've got, how do you deal with a dive of a Vladimir and a Zed? Well, Kindred Ultimate can stall, but it is still going to be very scary for them. So Peanut immediately on over to the Dragon as well, and keep those ones rolling.
Yeah, it's very true. I mean, you think about their team fight, it's very much just wombo combo, insane amount of damage, and it's all AoE as well, outside of, I guess, Nidalee swipes and stuff like that, but that's not really what she's there for. As we take a look at this replay, as he basically just presses R on.
Yeah, he presses everything else too. Press all buttons, and there you go. Poof goes the Taliyah. It's, I mean, like you said, though, it's just so hard. Once the R goes in, there's not really a lot you can do since your seismic shove is so delayed. It's so easy for the Zed side to play around. And constantly going to have those visits from supports. You see on the mini-map, they went for a little bit of an invade there. CFO on top side to go try and continue to play around JunJia. He does have the very, very, very minute jungle lead there, and all the wards up on the top side for them. So CFO overloading on top side. This is a Vladimir that does have flash, and I wonder if he used pool already. Nope.
Oh, there's the pool. Kaiwing not going to hit the stun on this one, but he is at least going to land the E onto him. Kaiwing does take a bunch of that damage, so very nicely done in the dive. The Vlad, not much he can do in that situation after using the pool, of course, as he does go down pretty quickly to the three of them.
Again, really good team play here from CFO. Kaiwing linking up with JunJia, constantly just always playing with them. They've got the carry, jungle, and the support to follow. Wait a second.
Driver's really trying to make this kill onto Viper happen. Right now, he's just got a Catalyst and a Tear, so he doesn't actually do damage, Driver. He's just dying to MF, and Peanut's here.
Yeah, the big problem there, ultimate used offensively. You really want that for defense.
Speaking of offensive ultimates, as in goes Zeka once again, as there is the Kindred ultimate just barely to save his life. Peanut failing on the dive, but he is going to stay alive, and it might not be a fail at the end of it all. As Zeku comes in, Viper, though, will be traded out, as at least Viper got the kill, but so will Driver in the dive.
Blood everywhere! I love it! There we go, a Kindred mark for JunJia as well. Honestly, keep this game action-packed. The gold remaining close. We've got some super fun picks to look forward to once we do get to the mid-game and our team fights. But if we go back to the team play for CFO, they're sticking to the game plan here. They get out the Vladimir pool really early on, and then Kaiwing, very nice E. He was able to follow it up, locks them down. They get their kill on the Vladimir. Here's another look at the full attempted dive on the bottom side. And just Driver had already used his ulti earlier when he tried to go for the play on the Viper, so he didn't have here. So he still goes down, but was able to keep Viper in range of tower by hovering against the wall long enough that he still gets his counter kill.
Yeah, so Peanut did smite away one of the grubs here as they go in for the fight. They're not going to hit all too much, but everybody else groups into the Rell. Here comes Doggo from the top side, though. Zeka going in for the dive once. JunJia not going to get him just yet. So many low health bars here on the side of CFO, and Peanut is going to get away. Here comes Zeus over the wall, just going to pull the shove and will not take the damage, but does take the follow-up. One Q might save him, but it's not going to happen as HongQ lives against Zeka, who misses the shuriken. Here comes Doggo, flashing on into a Zed, not scared of anything, but guess what? The R is up, and it's available again! Zeka goes for it again! Gets the kill! And the last auto from Peanut finishes it off!
Oh my goodness, what a chat! Picks the Zed, some fancy plays on the top side to the pixel brush. Oh, beautiful stuff there. What a fun one. Are you not entertained? Thank you for the entertainment, HLE. Thank you for the entertainment, both teams here. Okay. Grub fight is not fair, because only one of them is a jungler and has smites. But what a fun one here. CFO and HLE delivering an absolute scrap at the grubs. HongQ had Blast Cone right into the Rell initiation. And so HLE are like, everybody forward. We have such big lead on our health bars here. Kaiwing, though, he locked up Peanut and got him so low. And Doggo is the one with the big health bar here trying to chase everyone down. He pushed Peanut out and then got his kill onto Delight. And he wanted to come, you know, kind of save the game here. So looks for it onto Peanut. Flashed forward.
Oh, Zeka gets his ult right there.
Yeah, and then
just came off cooldown.
Goes over here, able to snap back, finish off HongQ, and Peanut with his heal too, gets the shutdown.
Wait, I think we missed something, Kobe. There's a Gragas in the top lane. Meanwhile, there is a dive onto a Rell. Delight wants to turn it around, but he's not going to be able to. JunJia, oh, he's going to have to pop that ultimate just to stay alive. Now Zeka 1v4, but he's not scared. He's moving into them, looking to do a bit of extra damage. He's got Peanut on the way, but yeah, nice dive from the side of CFO. Once again, we'll pick up a kill at least.
Whew. All right. There is a lot of action, but look at the minimap right now. Both top lane and mid lane just also pushed by HLE. Zeus is going to head down to back up Viper, as Viper was trying to push for even more and also get turret plate money. But they were able to get both of the lanes on the other side of the map pushed as well while taking the objective. So Dragon picked up, or will be picked up here by Peanut, and HLE also still retaining control of the map.
Yeah, they certainly are doing just that. This Mountain Drake going to go the way of HLE, so that is going to be their second Drake of the game, you can see. We'll see what the soul is after this replay. Just channeling in, Delight wants to try to field for Zeka and survive against the dive.
Yeah, little shadow play over there for Zeka, so even though Delight does go down, Kindred ultimate is used here by JunJia because of the tower, and then trying to force them away, but everybody was looking at the mini-map there. And this is the adventures of Driver.
Yeah, he is driving a little bit off course here. I don't believe this is part of the original obstacle course that you generally have to drive on. So, yeah, getting zoned away from the turret and his own lane by Vlad.
Still hyped though, I would say, with them getting the kill on the bottom side. It's just like they showed 4 people bottom for the bottom dive.
Yeah.
And he goes deep for the lane proxy play, like basically right as or a little bit afterwards.
Yeah, we have the MasterCard lane economy snapshot showing just how far ahead Hanwha Life eSports is in every role except the support role, where Kaiwing is ahead by 100 gold. So it's still close. You know, they have leads on the side of Hanwha Life eSports. Really the issue, I think, for CFO is that they're playing up against a Vlad and just really insane team fighting. And if they get behind, they might just get bowled over again.
I want to see if they can focus on a bit more of their like secure team fights, but currently the map's still so spread out. They're constantly getting pressured in these side lanes. You have really good split pushers on the side of HLE with the game that Zeka has right now. Both of the, all the solo laners getting their level 11, so looking very dangerous there with Zed and Vladimir split pushing, and then everybody else for HLE grouping up to use their grub power here on the mid lane turret and try and get their pressure done there.
Yeah, a little bit of back and forth in the river, but it didn't look like Hanwha Life eSports wanted to stick around in that one.
Yeah. So we'll see, because HLE are going to thrive a lot if they get to continue like spreading the map and playing so aggressively with these solo laners. But maybe CFO can try and pull together, a 5-person play. They do have Taliyah ultimate and the teleport kind of soon coming up for HongQ. Looks like he's going to run his way or surf his way up the river to make this attempted play. Of course, Zeus does have his teleport, so Vladimir could also join.
Yeah, it looks like he might just do that. Here's the wall, there's the TP, and a very nice engage comes in from Delight once again, but the Kindred ult is there to try to save them. They're all invulnerable. The follow-up comes in from the Vlad, though, as Zeus gets the big kill on that backline. We do see Zeus just running in their backline, getting so much down, and Driver looking for Peanut, but he's not quite going to be able to get it down. He just pops away on the Mega Blast Cone, and Driver is all alone here, 1v2. Peanut is very low, although he is kind of kiting him out here, kind of playing with the Gragas a little bit. Gonna eat a Q though, and does back away, but the Rift Herald secured, and this first turret should go the way of Hanwha Life as well.
Yeah, even though it didn't look like devastating for CFO with them only basically being -1 kills there. Also losing that mid turret is really painful, because once these outer towers go away, like the safety goes away. But here's another look at it, and the Kindred ultimate delaying and buying some time for them. Doggo there trying to flash it outside, but like the dive is just so good with Vladimir basically getting in untouched into the back line, and you have so many of those threats. that it's really hard for CFO to recover from that initiation.
Yeah.
Started out and...
Imagine if they didn't have Kindred. Like, how these team fights would play out is that they both would have just died instead if it was any other jungler.
Yeah.
So
they got to keep their eyes on Delight, of course. So, you know, the Rell is going to bring it all together and be the spark that actually ignites that big fight for HLE. So we'll see. Yeah. As they move over, Dragon could have spawned pretty soon, so we might get another show shortly here as they move in for Vision fighting first.
Yeah, Chemtech Soul gonna feel pretty good for the side of Hanwha Life eSports, honestly, with a Vlad and a Nidalee and a bunch of big shields, even the Bloodthirster, right? It's gonna feel great for them as Viper is being pressured a little bit. A lot of them, actually, a lot of bit, as he is going to flash the cask and just kind of get away from it all. Only a couple of, I think 3 ults were used there by the side of CFO. They're going to try to use this pressure to take down this mid turret, which in fact they will. The side lanes, Kobe, you were mentioning though, Zeka able to put some pressure on the top side, as it looks like now both teams want to fight over this dragon. Yeah, and like what are we going to do about this Vladimir? Because Zeus, as we mentioned in Champ Select, is going to be a really big problem later, and we are later. Yeah, about that. They need to do something about the Vladimir, but Zeus is a tank right now. He is just running at them. And he's got so much health, he's got so much AP because of that. And, you know, the Gragas doesn't really do much against the Vlad. He just kind of sits there and throws stuff at him, and the Vlad doesn't care at all. Well, getting richer by the seconds. Split pushing bottom while they go for the dragon fight here. JunJia. Oh, the engage not going to land there from the side of Kaiwing, and there you go. Peanut will secure the smite onto this one, and again, this 1v1, it's just looking worse and worse for Driver. Another Empower Q going to hit him as the Rift Herald pushing on in, and Zeus is just looking for the dive. Driver has to flash away from it, but even the ult nearly takes his head off, as Driver at this moment does not quite exist in the side lane. In goes Delight, maybe a little bit sideways there, as down he will go. JunJia nearly pays for it, but does throw in the ult, as Zeka looking for the dive, does pop away, as will that Ignite get the kill? The shurikens flying around him, but JunJia will survive at the end of all that chaos. Okay, Zeus is gonna go back to base. He has a large amount of cash in his wallet at the moment. Okay, Cosmic Drive is done, and a little bit of magic penetration on top. I was wondering, like, how soon is he gonna like upgrade into a Medjai's? He only has like 6 stacks on the Dark Seal right now, but I definitely foresee in this game that being a very likely possibility of him getting later. Here's another look at it though. The Misfortune ultimate over here creating a lot of space, and Zeka wanted to try and take advantage of the Kindred ultimate being used fairly early there to go in with his Ignite, with his Death Mark, but not able to squeeze out just enough damage there. Okay, so maybe if CFO could just fight away from wherever the Vladimir is. How about that? Yeah, just run away from him whenever you see the scary vampire. Or go right to this face. I mean, this is the thing. He's got a slow onto Zeus. Zeus, he's got help. He's got Peanut here, and heals come in. He flashes into the 2 of them. It's just like, why did you bait me into this one? I gotta flash away now. And Driver gonna eat his 3rd death as the Vlad now 3,000 gold ahead, just 21 minutes into the game. So we did have to test, should we go away from the Vlad or to the Vlad? And we have decided we'll be going away. There is a very low health tower up on the top side of the map. So objective bounty available there. That's also an option. Yeah. So, yeah. I like how you're checking all the boxes. You know, they have some opportunities here in this game. So this whole time, by the way, Zeus was stacking up his Riftmaker and his Conqueror. So not only is he turbo fed, but the Riftmaker and Conqueror are stacked. Yeah, it's gonna be painful. So he used his flash there though. So yeah, he did. Back to the brush. He did use his flash. We'll see when he upgrades those Swifties as well what that's gonna look like. Driver, he's quite tanky. He's AP Gragas, but he's still quite tanky. He's about to fully stack the Rod of Ages too and get that extra level. He'll catch up a little bit. The Ruinous Otacon will be taken pretty unceremoniously here by Hanwha Life eSports, as it is spotted by a blue trinket, but nobody's actually going to approach this on the side of CFO, so they just give it up. Flowers will be taken here by Hanwha Life eSports, And just think about what that's going to do for the extra levels, the extra damage.
Yeah, you think about that.
Just take a little, sit back while we have a little lull in the action. Yeah. Just think about exactly how strong Hanwha Life eSports is right now.
Because if you really think about it, no, it's fine. Zeus from the Flowers gets his adaptive force, which turns into AP, and then AP turns into health also.
Yeah.
And the extra experience there did not get him to 16, so.
Yeah.
Not too bad.
Yet.
The world is not ending.
Driver's actually ahead on XP on Zeus.
Yeah, baby.
Funnily
that
enough.
Rod of Ages tick.
Yeah.
Rod of Ages, baby.
It's just that item's OP. Can't counter it. Well, actually, you can. Zeus is going to get into the lead in just a moment here. Actually does overtake him by sitting in the top side. And yeah, we're about to have that Chemtech Dragon spawn that is for the Chemtech Soul for Hanwha Life eSports. So CFO got to make a tough decision. Do we fight over this one, or do we just give the Soul away and try to fight a bit later on when our Corki's a bit more fed? Because, when our Kindred's a little bit more fed, perhaps. Because those are really the angles I'm looking at right now for CFO if they're going to win in an extended team fight.
Well, our strategy of fight away from Vladimir doesn't really work when Vlad's teleport is up, so...
Yeah.
If we send it, it's going to be a full send. And it might be the last send as well.
Yeah.
Might be.
Well, maybe the game doesn't end right away, but, we'll see how much action we can get as the difference in the top lane is quite large at this point in time. Nearly double the damage is Zeus over Driver. As, Viper's barely going to get away from that stun. He does flash the cask, and that's a good choice. If you're going to pick a target, it's probably got to be the MF if you are CFO.
Yeah. Zeus is pinging, hey, I'm just going to keep on split pushing. All HLE have to do is just make more time around this dragon. And eventually, maybe we'll look for a smite fight here or something, but Zeus is teleporting in, so run!
Oh my God!
Run!
Wait, Doggo, you're going the wrong way! He runs towards the Vlad, they're trying to take down the light, but they all get grouped up into the Rell instead. And you know what? Vlad loves when you're grouped up against it. Finally, JunJia gonna throw out the Kindred ultimate, but who really cares about that? He survives for a bit longer, but the rest of the team just dies alongside of him. And Hanwha Life eSports will take the fight and the dragon, and it's looking like a 2 here today, Kobe.
Yeah, and the Baron, I'll wager. I'll put a lot on that Baron, too.
Yeah.
So here we go. So the critical moment we're looking for, Valdez,
is the TP.
Yeah, right about now. You see that little swirl over there on the Nidalee trap. Nidalee trap teleports for the dub.
And that's Hanwha Life eSports is, they had side lane pressure, but their team fighting is also incredibly cracked. It's crazy what you can do when the Rell picks up even 2 or 3 guys.
And they know, all you do at that point is smile. It's definitely been a really entertaining and fun one. Props to both teams here in this series for the entertainment.
Yeah, it has been entertaining. I think that last fight was very fun. With Zeus level 16,
it was fun for
Zeka's
Zeus.
level 16.
Definitely fun for him.
Delight, he did his job. He's died 5 times in this one. He doesn't care. He's just going to throw his face into there and try to collect as many people with his magnets.
Yeah,
and he's very strong.
And with all of the team gold, he has overtaken. So he is no longer the lone member that didn't have the individual gold lead.
Yeah.
He too is included.
He is one of the guys now.
Yeah.
Just going to throw an ult into a Zed because, why not? Might as well. And just going to go for the Baron here, Hanwha Life eSports. You were reckoning that probably they would take down this objective. Kaiwing now ultless with his Solar Flare on cooldown, trying to just walk his way in as JunJia not even able to get in range. So that is just going to be a free Baron over to the side of Hanwha Life eSports, and CFO now a bit caught. Going to do a combo onto a Vlad, but Taliyah not very good against the Vlad, I'll tell you that, as in goes Zeus. He's got backup for the team. The triple kill comes in from Zeus, and he's looking for a bit more. As, they're just going to get that kill over to Viper instead, as it is the ace from the side of Hanwha Life, and that might just be the game right here, right now.
Certainly will be right through the top lane. HLE with Baron, with the Dragon Soul, looking at the 2-0 clean victory.
A very clean one at that, and they did it with a Vladimir top and a Zed in the mid lane. If you missed this game, definitely go ahead and check out the replay because it was a very fun one with those 2 picks. A super dominance game from Hanwha Life eSports as they continue to prove that they are the tournament favorites here at First Stand.
Yeah, looking to pump up those fearless stats too with unique champions picks. I like it.
It's a good idea, you know? You make those champion pools even larger.
Plus, I like it because there was a reason for it, you know?
Yeah.
Both good matchups to pick them into, so really nicely done. Bit of a flex.
Yeah, they were definitely flexing on CFO tonight as, yeah, pretty incredible stuff from Hanwha Life eSports. CFO, I was hoping that they would be able to do something in this one, but unfortunately, it wasn't meant to be, Kobe.
Not meant to be this time around, but they were still smiling. They still had fun. Looking forward to our next matchup, actually.
Yeah, and have you heard? You can subscribe to LOL Esports on Twitch now to support your favorite teams. You can use custom emotes and go ad-free on Twitch. Regular subscribers are also rewarded with the Buy Have You Heard in-game emotes. So as you check that out, we'll be back after a short commercial break. Don't go anywhere.